If you give PowerPoint presentations or you do public speaking, I want to show you the best kept secret when it comes to improving your presentation skills. If you don't know who I am, my name is Philip McGee. I'm a physical therapist and learning and development specialist, and I, over the past year, have done hundreds of PowerPoint presentations, and I wasn't aware of this feature in PowerPoint until the beginning of 2024. The feature is Rehearse with Coach, and I want to show you how to use this amazing feature. I can go to Slideshow, and in Slideshow, there is this Rehearse with Coach option. If you click the drop down, there is an option for body language. This is the feature that is in your browser that you can't access from the PowerPoint application. Body language, it will give you feedback based on how you're doing looking at the camera, whether you have your hands in front of your face, or if you're too close or too far away from the camera. So this can be a nice feature. If it's not something that's important to you, you can always just use the regular PowerPoint application, or you can uncheck the body language feature. I'll click Rehearse with Coach. Once I click Rehearse with Coach, on the right-hand side, you'll see this option to start rehearsing. Before we start rehearsing, I did want to point out you can choose to have real-time feedback, or if you want that unchecked, you can choose to not have that real-time feedback. Sometimes that can be a little bit distracting, maybe a little bit overwhelming. You just want to know that feedback afterward. You can have that unchecked. I want you to see the features that it has when you do real-time feedback. Once you're ready, you can click Start Rehearsing. Since I am in the browser, I can get the body language feedback. And if you don't like where you're positioned, you can move yourself over to the top. You can move yourself to the center, wherever you want to be. I'm going to bring it back over to where we started. If I start to look away from the camera, it'll start to give me feedback that I need to look at the camera. Oftentimes this happens when I'm presenting. I have multiple monitors and I'm looking at the other monitor, so it gives me that feedback. The second feedback it gives is if you're too far away or too close to the camera. If I move away, it'll start to give me feedback to move closer. Once I'm in the right spot, it says that I'm doing fine. If I overcorrect and I get really close to the camera, it'll tell me that I need to move back, and then it'll give me that feedback once I'm in the right spot. The third feedback is if you're someone who you tend to use your hands when you talk a lot, maybe you start to cover your face, it will let you know if you are covering your face and tells you to keep your face clear. So those are the three main things for body language. If you want to have the camera on throughout the whole time, you want to be able to see yourself, or you want it to take snapshots of when you are breaking those three main rules, then you can keep the camera on. If maybe that's a little bit distracting, you want to take the camera off, you can click the camera and you can stop seeing yourself. Now, it will still give you feedback based on what you're doing, it's just not going to show you. So for instance, if I look away, you can't see me right now looking away, but it's telling me I need to face the camera. Because I have the camera off, I don't see myself, but it does give me that feedback. Maybe you don't want to have that live feedback. You do have this option with the bell to turn off that real-time feedback. That way, that feedback is not going to constantly be giving you messages on how to improve your presentation. I'm going to turn it back on by clicking the bell, and we'll talk about some of the features when you are talking. Some of the different features are the pace. If you're someone who tends to talk fast, it can give you feedback that you're talking too fast. My tendency is not to talk too fast, so I have to work on that. If I am going to be talking really fast, maybe I'm going to say that you need to work on your resume if you're wanting to go into non-clinical roles, or you need to do practice interviews. Those are the things that you need to work on. It's going to start to tell me that I'm talking too fast, I need to slow down, but overall, I'm not someone who really talks that fast. So there you got to see that it said that I need to practice speaking a little bit slower. Now it gave me feedback that my pitch was a little bit monotone. So it gave me that reminder that I need to change the words to go up and the words to go down so that I have an improvement in my pitch. Now it gave me a compliment saying that my pitch was doing better and to keep that up. Another thing is filler words. If I am using filler words like like, so, it will tell me that I'm using filler words. So here it showed me that I was using too many filler words like and then it said So it'll let you know if you're using too many filler words. Maybe you need a break from this and you need to pause before you're starting to get more feedback. If you click the microphone, you can pause this and it won't give you any feedback at all because you're pausing your practice. Once I'm ready, I can click play and it will start to give me feedback again. Another thing that's helpful is that if you are reading from your slide, then it will give you feedback that you need to avoid reading the slide and just summarize. So if I go to this next slide and I just read off this slide, it says patient safety. There are various job titles such as patient safety coordinator / director, safe patient handling and mobility coordinator, injury prevention, ergonomic specialist. They are the expert at the facility involving safe patient handling. Now you'll see that it says for originality that I need to be able to summarize the slide and not just read off of the slide. Now, if I mispronounce a word, like it said that I mispronounced coordinator, then it will let me know at the end that I need to try to work on that word. As I go through the presentation, and I continue to go through that presentation, if I need additional feedback, maybe I'm repeating certain words, saying really or like a lot. If I am saying like, it will let me know that I'm using repetitive language. As I go through the presentation, if I am finished with presenting, I can go to the bottom left-hand corner and hover around next to where there's the camera. There is this end show. If I end the show, then I get this report card. It lets me know overall how much time I spent, what slides were rehearsed or the number of slides that were rehearsed. It lets me know how my pace was and what my pace looked like as I was going through the presentation. If I used filler words, here it noted that I did and For repetitive language, it said I said maybe too often, so here I could work on that. For pronunciation, it said that I mispronounced coordinator, so I could click this speaker and it'll let me hear how I should pronounce coordinator. Then it'll give me the option to practice that. It also gives you feedback on inclusiveness. If you want to learn more about that, you can click Learn More and it will let you know some of the things that if you struggle with using inclusive words, some of the things that you can improve on. Continuing on, you can see for the pitch, it gives me a target and then it lets me know when I'm starting to talk a little bit monotone. So here it gives me that reminder that I need to make sure that I'm not speaking monotone. For body language, since I'm using the browser, it gives me the opportunity to see when I was facing away versus when I was actually making good eye contact. If I was obstructing my face versus when I was doing well with that. And then for distance, it lets me know when I was too close and what it looked like when I was doing well. The other thing that I think is really helpful is originality. So if there are slides that you just read off, it tells you these are the slides that you probably need to work on. Now, I didn't go through my entire presentation, but this lets you know what the report card looks like. And I do think it is very helpful. You can always take screenshots of it if you want to have that for reference when you're going to practice again. Overall, I think this is an amazing option so that you can get better at your presentation. And especially if you have a presentation that you're not familiar with, you get to practice it and it can give you that feedback that otherwise you wouldn't be able to get. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.